Padlock, a detachable lock. Scrawled, written in a careless way. Whisper, speak very softly, a soft or confidential tone of voice. Frantic, highly excited with strong emotion or frustration. Leash, a chain or strap attached to the collar of the dog. It is used to control the dog. Screeched, made a loud, harsh, squealing noise. Heave, lift or pull something with great effort. Trembling, to shake slightly, usually because of cold and fear. Sniff. Sniff is when you take air through your nose to smell something. Snoring, to breathe in a very noisy way while you are sleeping. Baying, barking or howling loudly. Assalamu alaikum students. In today's video, we are going to read and understand the chapter Does He Remember? Before starting reading and explanations, let's talk about pets. Almost all of us have some kind of animals in our homes. Pets, whether dogs, cats, or any farm animal, make great source of love and friendship. They need care and attention, healthy food, and comfortable place to sleep. They also have feelings. Pets never forget your love and attitude. Today's story is also about a pet dog, Marmaduke. I will tell you more about the story. But first of all, let's start reading of the lesson and remember meanings of all the difficult words have been given in the beginning of the video. This story revolves around three main characters: Mike, Nabil. Nabil is Mike's friend, and a dog, Marmaduke. Mike and Nabil were childhood friends and they visited each other on birthdays, holidays, and many other ceremonies. Nabil had some pet dogs. Mike had a really bad habit. He used to tease his friend's dog a lot. The dog, Marmaduke, was very weak at that time and could not show any reaction. But Mike's behavior was not good for the dog. One day, after many years, Mike comes to visit his friend Nabil. Does Marmaduke remember Mike's bad behavior? Let's find out after reading the lesson. Students, try to improve your English reading with the help of punctuation marks. Punctuation mark shows how the sentence should be read and it makes the meaning more clear. It makes your reading more appealing. As we know, we always bring a shorter pause when there is a comma. We express strong emotions when we see an exclamation mark. And we always use a questioning voice when we see a question mark at the end of the sentence. Try to use all these punctuation marks while reading. Now let me tell you how to read. Does he remember? Mike stood, waiting at the garden gate. There was a padlock and chain on the gate. It was firmly locked. On the wall beside the gate, there was a large round button. Above the button, there was a sign that said bell. Mike had already pressed it once, but he now pressed it again. He had thought about climbing over the gate and entering the compound. But he knew that the large sign on the gate meant what it said. Beware of dogs. Below the lettering of this sign, someone had scrawled, "They will have you for breakfast." Mike thought this was amusing, but he also knew that it might be true, judging by the barking he could hear coming from the house. He was not going to take the risk and become food for these creatures. This is how you will read whole lesson. Remember, meanings of all the difficult words have already been given. Now let me summarize this lesson for you. One day, Mike came to visit his old friend Nabil. At the gate he saw a sign that said, "Beware of dogs." That meant there were still plenty of dogs inside the house. While standing at the gate, Mike remembered about all the occasions he had visited Nabil's house. He also remembered Marmaduke, who was a little puppy at that time. An old man took Mike inside the house. The dogs were barking, and Mike was terrified by that sound. He made sure to keep close to the old man. It means he was scared of the dogs. Nabil was sitting in a dark living room. He became very happy to meet his old friend Mike. The baying of the dogs continued, but Nabil convinced Mike that all the dogs have been locked in another room, except the old Marmaduke, who was asleep beside him. Mike was very worried about hearing the dog's name. He remembered how he used to tease the dog. Mike was trying to make sure that Marmaduke does not remember how he used to worry him. He wanted to know about Marmaduke. Was the dog really sleeping or not? Nabil tried to convince Mike that Marmaduke would not recognize him because the dog has become very old. All of a sudden, Marmaduke raised his head and leapt forward to attack Mike. He asked Nabil for his help. Nabil barely controlled Marmaduke. Mike ran very hard to save his life. Marmaduke wanted to take revenge for all the teasing he suffered because of Mike. So I have a question here for you. Do you think dogs have a good memory? Yes, they do have a very good memory. Dogs never forget your behavior. Dogs also have emotions, as we just read about Marmaduke. Although he was very old, he was almost blind and deaf, but he could smell very well. He was standing on his legs. He was very angry and barking fiercely. He could not see anything, but he could smell his old enemy. And who was Marmaduke's old enemy? Mike. Yes, you are right. He wanted to leap at his enemy and bite him with all his might. He was quite strong for his age. He was after Mike and wanted to take revenge for all the teasing he suffered because of Mike. So we come to know here that we should always treat animals with love and care. Mike learned this lesson very late in his life. My dear students, I hope you have understood the lesson. After reading the lesson, you have to find the answers of questions from exercise A, page number 19. We will discuss the answers in our next video. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.